Namaskaram. On behalf of Rasa Web Channel, we are very happy to have with us legendary Guru, Professor CV Chandrashekar sir. Namaskaram sir. After all these years of glory and the heights you have attained, with life moving forward at such a fast pace, will you ever look back the path you traveled sometimes? Please speak about the highs and the lows of your journey with your art.
Well, it's a very long journey that I have passed through in all these years. I started learning at the age of 10 in Kalakshetra. Well, for 9 years I was in Kalakshetra doing my dance and music. I came to Kalakshetra mainly to learn music, but the atmosphere and the encouragement that I got from my seniors who were there. So the word went to Rukmini Devi that this boy seems to be interested in dance. So the next thing that I knew was after 1 year, when I came back to Kalakshetra and Besant School, I was told that I'm going to be learning not only music but also dance. So it was decided by Rukmini Devi that I would learn dance. So, of course, somebody probably must have given her the news that this boy seems to be, peeping into dance classes and things like that, so that I could never think of learning dance at that time. So how and when all this changed is a very long story, but to make it short, I would say then I was here for 9 years, as I said, to continuing my dance and music. I had my Arangetal in 1950, which was specially organized by Rukmini Devi for me to be done on the 1st of December 1950, because that day happened to be the birthday of Dr. Arundel, Rukmini Devi's husband, who was no more at that time when I joined Kalakshetra. So after that, I had to make a decision, because I was going to college. I did my BSc course in botany, and then I was wondering as to what I'm going to do. Then I wanted to study further. I never thought that dance or music is going to be my main aim or qualification. So my father, as he sent me to Adyar all alone in 1945, all alone in the Grand Trunk Express all the way from Delhi to Chennai. Somebody was traveling. My part to Adyar was part of it, part of the people in the compartment. And he was told, please take care of this boy till he reaches Madras. So this is how my journey started earlier, but then I had spent 9 years living in that atmosphere of Kalakshetra and Besant School, which had a lot of ideals and great people who came, and we had opportunities to listen to them, to hear them. Musicians would come, topmost musicians, right? Both vocal, instrumental, and Katha Kalakshepam, all the big names. They had a great respect for the work that Rukmini Devi was doing, and many of them came just without even asking what they were going to be paid. They were just given some place to stay, I know, but they must have been given a salary of 100 rupees or something maximum. So, but the atmosphere there in which I grew up for those 9 long years has shaped me as to what I am, because once I I told you, I went to Banaras to do my master's in science, and when I was there, it gave me some opportunities, very special opportunities, because I was chosen by the universities, in Indian universities, to represent Banaras University to China, which was led by Sir C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer. So I had the great opportunity of being close to him, for such a great statesman, to be with him for 1 full month, traveling by train all the way, because flights were there only up to Hong Kong. Then we were. So this I was with him, and then after I finished, I didn't know what to do. I had done my masters, but then I came to Chennai. I got a job in some small scale industries corporation as nothing to do with the arts and not even with science. But those days, anybody wanted a job is okay, join some office and work. That was the thing. We could not even think of what we were going to do. So this was uh, when I was just thinking as to what I didn't want to keep that job. So after 3 months, I resigned and I got a job way up north in Missouri because I loved the hills, and I was born in Shimla, another hill station. So my idea of the hills and the Himalayas was also much into myself. So I enjoyed that 1 year of teaching in a school in Missouri, where I had to teach dance, I had to teach science, I had to teach English, all varied subjects as you have in many of the boarding schools even now. So, but then I had to leave because of the instability that the institution itself had. So what do I then do? I thought. Then I thought I will continue with my PhD work in botany. So I got myself under the tutelage of one of my professors, and I went to Banaras again, where I studied my MSc, but I went again. And to my father, I didn't want to ask my father for any financial help. So I took up a job as a dance teacher in one of the schools there run by the Theosophical Society. And so I worked there 7 years. In the midst of it, I had to give up my PhD work because of some misunderstanding with my with my guide. So it was all still. So I said I had a job anyway. I was doing something which I like. I was teaching dance, which was. So after some time, then fortunately, the University of Banaras introduced a lecturer's post in dance, not as a curricular subject, but as a non-curricular subject in place of games or NCC or PT or something for the girl students. So admitted as a lecturer, which the grades were all same as any other lecturer. So I thought, yes, I've got a job to be teaching dance. I was happy. Then I was there. I thought I'm going to be, after 7 years of teaching in the school, I got this job in the university for nearly 13, 14 years. I worked in the Banaras University as a lecturer. And in the meantime, we got married. I got married to Jaya, who was a student of Bharatanatyam in Delhi from another colleague of ours, S.V. Lalita, who studied in Kalakshetra, and I had known her, but I had known my wife anyway. So then we got married, and she also got a job as a dance teacher in the Krishnamurti Foundation, and I was in the university, and we were very happy, saying that we are doing what we want to do. So, but suddenly there's an advertisement in the University of Baroda that there is a post vacant, or not just vacant, post introduced or a professor in dance. I never thought. I didn't have any written papers except my Kalakshetra diploma in the field of dance, which was necessary for university professors or lecturers' grades. So as all of you want to do your PhDs now so that you'll get a job somewhere, and then without a PhD you can't, you're not considered for any. So it wasn't that bad. But when I went to Baroda and I got appointed as a professor of dance, and then as the head of the department of dance, and I became the dean of the faculty. So all this. So then I thought I was going to be in Baroda. I have done my work and probably settle down. After I retire, I'll continue to teach. And then again, God sent me back to Chennai because I had to keep my I said, but Chennai is my place, and I don't know how I would be welcomed here. 40 years I was away from Chennai. To Chennai, I had my own doubts whether I would be welcomed here. So many people have made a name, and people knew me as because I used to bring my group work from about 3 or 4 group productions which I had done in Baroda. I had come to Chennai to perform Krishna Gana Sabha and a couple of other sabhas. Uh, and so then once I came here, then gradually people came to know about me, and people in the dance field also knew who I was. But I never wanted to have a big institution of my own. I said I will do my teaching and I will do my production work if dancers who are trained want to come and work with me. That's how I started to do my work in Chennai after 40 years of being away. Almost, I was 65, I think, when I came down to Chennai. And so here, it's nothing. I never go out to ask people for a performance here. There, somehow, probably a few occasions where people saw me perform, and then gradually I started having some recognition here. And there were, just before I left Baroda, I got the Sangeet Natak Academy award also. So all that helped me a little. So when I came back, then here I said there were many young people who had passed out from Kalakshetra, or a couple of them who had learned with others. So I thought, why not I start doing some work with these dancers who can learn at the same time, also they take part, travel and all that. So I had a number of young people trained by, not me, mostly by others, my colleagues from the same institution, and some others who were not with Kalakshetra. But so everywhere there were people who wanted to come and learn with me and join me in my productions. So in the course of this long journey, I think I had done about 20 productions right from my Banaras days till today. So it has been a life of satisfaction, because I never wanted to. I really never asked for any help from anybody or request anybody to get me an award or anything. So it's just God's grace and my own faith in myself that told me, yes, you will be recognized, don't worry, you've done a lot of work. That's my inner self talking to me. And I said, and then people started recognize me, awards here, there, everywhere. There are so many awards. You can see this whole box is full of awards. I have no place to put them. And the recent award, then the Padma Bhushan was given to me. And then just earlier this year, last year, then I also appointed as one of the Sangeet Natak Academy's fellowship has come. So all these are things which yesterday, every day people ask me, sir, we want you to come and preside over, what should we add before your name? Huh? I said, what? My name is CV Chandrashekar. C stands for Coimbatore, V stands for my father's name, Venkatrama. So that's what my name is. And then because I was attached to the university as a professor, regular professor, so I had to write something. The first time when I got the professorship, then I said, oh yeah, it's nice to write a professor before. So, but even yesterday somebody asked me, then, everybody wants to add this name, that name when we call them, and you say you have nothing, please let me know. I just casually said, so if you feel like, probably I feel very proud that the two awards of one is from the Academy's Fellowship and the Government of India's Padma Bhushan is something which gave me a lot of joy, but didn't break my head in any way. So that's been almost my life. There are hundreds and other things that have gone through and the travels, and I've been able to see the world around. I had hardly gone out of India except on 2 occasions. So once when I was in Banaras, and then when I came to Baroda. And then, and only after coming here, I've been traveling much more every year. Somewhere or the other I go, just to go and share my views. It's never been I've never demanded any sum for my work. And everybody has been very kind and nice to me, to recognize my merit, if you can call them, to to get me into this field. And I'm still working. This morning when you came, I was taking a class, and I don't have a big class of 20, 30 like you youngsters. You have hundreds of students coming to you. You have the energy and you can work. And I don't have that energy, and I don't have the space either. So I have to work, taking a notice of anybody who is complaining about sound and this and all that. So, but the life has been wonderful, and both for me and Jaya, both of us, I think, fortunately, both our daughters, Chimanjari and Chitra, have taken up to dance as their profession. So they are doing in their own way. They are not behind me, and also ran with them. They are very individualistic dancers. I never correct them on or argue with them to do this, do that. Both of us quietly feel very happy to what our children are doing. So that's been my life, in short.
Great. Do you remember your first ever performance? What was your feeling when you were on the stage for the first time?
Oh, that's a very, I think our getting on to the stage, because from the year that I came to Kalakshetra, I was a music student. And even when I was a music student, there used to be folk dance class in the Saturday afternoons. So I remember even before I started learning dance classes, my teacher Sharda was in charge of the folk dance that was being taught. So she asked me, why don't you would like to do some dance? I said, happily. I said, yes. So I was, I think when I was 11, yes, 11. So at that time we used to do kummi, kolatam, and then I also remember Sharda Hoffman, my teacher, had the word choreograph never existed before when we were young. So she composed the dance for some of the kummis and kolatams, and also a small puppet performance on Sita Swayamvaram, in which all of us had to dance and walk like puppets with no movement. So I very proudly remember, and a picture of that, and with another young girl who was in our batch. The picture came in one of the very top journals on an article written by James Cousins, who was a theosophist and a great friend of Rukmini Devi. I still have that picture. So me as Rama, and her name was Kashi, I remember. Kashi was Sita. So that was probably the first time that I did something on the stage. So it was fun, that's all. I don't remember anything else. Sometimes as children, we would some pinch somebody or do some things like that, and then and there are a lot of even seniors who were there who were all very nice to me, because this young fellow roaming around for all akkas were all very, very attached to me. That sometimes they'll bring and give some Bosoto's cakes or something from Mount Road, and then I used to be enjoying all that, and my studies, and then I remember the first, but then of course I took part in the productions of that time, that is Kotala Kuravanji and Kumarasambham, which Rukmini Devi had choreographed in the 40s. So in one I did the Katyakaran for the Kuravanji, and then I did I did the role of Manmatha in Kumarasambham. So those were very exciting days and by the way, I would sit in the rehearsal, and I knew everybody's part. So if anybody was absent, even if Atte was not busy, if she was busy, I was asked to do her part in the rehearsal, so that the others will have their rehearsal. So that type of the early remembrances of being on stage, not on a particular occasion or anything. I never felt that occasion ever came. But the real occasion came when I finished my school and I joined Vivekananda College for my intermediate. And that year, one day, Rukmini Devi called me and said, I want to do an Arangetal for you. Not like anybody coming and asking you that when will my daughter get her Arangetal. Yes. It was something which the day that I remember how she called me, made me sit next to her and said, Arangetal Panikariya, Pannatama Unaku. I said, I don't know whether I am eligible or not. I'm just, for 4 years that I've been learning that. She said, no, I want you to do. I said, okay. So that was a real, I still remember anecdotes of, but by that time we had already done a couple of performances of Kumarasambham or Kuravanji or folk dances and all that. And that was all part of it. My major solo first program was my Arangetra, which was done in one of the open air theatres in Old Kalakshetra, not here, in the Besant Gardens in the Theosophical Society. So that campus is still, I'm so much part of that old campus than the new campus, because my stay was all the time when that campus was there. I had left Kalakshetra except for the fact that I think I was there only there. I never studied in the present institution. So it was great excitement, and great people came to, musicians, whomsoever was invited by Rukmini Devi, they all came. A lot of people came to see how a boy will be doing an Arangetram. I was one of those. But people told me, I never bothered about what anybody spoke. But afterwards I came to know from some people that, how these people came, that person came, this person, just to see how a boy can do an Arangetram. So one of those firsts when I was just only
Do you remember what Varnam you did,
Yeah,
sir?
I did. I still do that Varnam. It was a Varnam which was Todi Varnam. It was the Rupa Mujochi, which is still remains the trademark of Kalakshetras. Or many generations of dancers have learnt that. And before me, it was two of my friends who had an Arangetram the year back before mine. So they did that Varnam, and then another student from Baroda and from Ahmedabad was there, or Bombay. So she did the Svarnam. So that was the main Varnam, first Varnam we learnt, and then of course we learnt the Ananda Bhairavi Varnam Sakhiye. Our repertoire was not very huge, and there were not many people who had Arangetrams. Arangetrams were done for a very few students. We all got our diplomas. But when I did my Arangetram and when I left Kalakshetra, the diploma was not issued. Afterwards, in a convocation, the diploma was issued to me. I was also honored. Rajaji had come, I remember. Great people. And the other, my postgraduate diploma was after I left for Banaras and I was studying there. And Atte had come to Banaras. I saw in the booklet that so and so they've all been given PG diplomas. I said I was probably the first one to be really enrolled as a post diploma student, and don't I no, so immediately she asked one of her secretaries to write to me, and then my PG diploma came. No examination, we didn't, nothing. And theory and all, we would just learn shlokams, and that way, that was how we started, but now, not like now.
With so many productions that you have been recorded, would you tell us about the one you first staged? How did it feel to have a masterpiece sculptured in your hand? Where did you stage it, and how was the response?
Well, having been in Kalakshetra, we were always used to doing group work, and we'd all of us have had our parts in some of the performances. Rukmini Devi's production, especially I wasn't there for any of the Ramayana productions and all that. But my time is much before that. So that how to, I used to sit and watch and then see how thoughts would come to her, and then how masters would be there, Sanskrit masters, from Pandits would be there, musicians like Vasudevachar or Bodhulur Krishnamurti Sastri, they were all part of the music faculty in Kalakshetra. And listening to Hindustani music by the Dagar brothers, who came and stayed in Kalakshetra for 3 months on the invitation of Rukmini Devi, to just come and stay there, sing, practice, so that our children will have the opportunity of listening to Hindustani music. They just came, and they came, and I was very close to them because I spoke Hindi even then. So that I could speak to both the brothers and the wife of the older brother, and help them. So therefore, how to go about with a production or something was just sown. The seed was sown.